Hi, my name is Jasmine Rogers. I am a junior on the women's volleyball team, and I am from Ridgewood, New Jersey. I was recruited to a school. It was in high school when I was getting recruited for college, and it came to my attention that another teammate who had known the coach had said, oh yeah, when I go to tournaments, I always look for the black girls because they jump the highest. And I just remember going into the bathroom and bawling my eyes out because I worked so hard for something that can just be minimized to such a statement like that, like, oh, I'm gonna go look at her for the color of her skin, which is like kind of the total opposite of something that like I've ever heard before. Usually it's like the against that side. I worked for everything that I have. I worked for my vertical. I mean, it's this notion that, oh, black people jump higher, okay. That I think was like the moment that I realized that even in the college world, things are still different. I always had this like idealistic view of college, like oh, if I get onto a D1 team, it's gonna be so much better. Like there's gonna be so much more acceptance and coaches are gonna be great. But yeah, no, that was rough. I think the first thing that comes to mind when I think of Black History Month is honestly just the past and how much it has impacted our future and our current state. Black History Month is really a time to celebrate, but I think recently it's been used more as a time to like honestly like reflect on like the good and the bad that has happened. As rough as it may be, having those tough conversations, especially around this time of year, I think is something that's very, very crucial. I think growing up, it was just kind of cool. It was like a fun holiday for me to have, especially growing up in a predominantly white town. But I think now as I have gotten older, I've used it more as a time to really educate my friends and my family. People tend to like walk on eggshells because they think that, oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing. The one thing I try to tell everybody that does ask me a lot of questions about it is that it is okay to ask questions. I think that the fear of not asking questions or the fear of saying the wrong thing is what leads to like this gap between us when we talk about these types of things. It affects me every day, especially how we've been talking kind of about being the only person on my team that is black, currently, not in the past, obviously. Kind of just reminding myself that I am a voice for younger athletes, and I do have people reach out to me, and I have my siblings looking up to me, and just from a day-to-day breaking barriers that I necessarily never saw myself breaking growing up. So when I got the opportunity, I didn't really understood what it meant at first. And then when I got here and I started talking to people and I started talking to other athletes and just other people who were younger than me, I realized like how much of like what I do and how rare it is and how special it is and how much I have to use this platform that I have to continue to educate and to continue to push younger athletes to show them that it is possible and Division I is not something that's unachievable for black kids. If you have watched our Pio Bites episode, go watch that. But my dad is an assistant coach in the NBA, and he was drafted in the NBA right when I was born. My dad has broke so many barriers when it comes to the NBA. I don't know, most people don't know this, but it is coached by predominantly white men. And there has been a lot of recent activity where people have seen that young black coaches and even experienced black coaches are usually overlooked for the name brand or the white man, which is very, very difficult. And to see my dad kind of just go through this every day and do his job and is now one of the top assistant defensive coaches in the NBA, I think about him every day, every time I play the sport, every time I do anything that relates to sports, just watching him do what he does on a day-to-day basis. This is things that people couldn't have even imagined 100 years ago. I don't know if anything has necessarily changed my perspective, but more of my course of action. Like we talked about, growing up in a predominantly white town and kind of feeling that as if I am a voice to force people into seeing what is actually going on. Because what tends to happen when you grow up in a white town is that you're a white black person or you're not experiencing the total black experience. Don't be quiet anymore. I think silence is what has led to so much oppression, and we just need to have the unfortunate conversations and have the scary conversations and just open it up, especially when it comes to athletics, because there are things that black athletes face that the white athletes don't face. And it's something that no matter what, we're all athletes at the end of the day. So like keeping that hold, but like sticking up for each other. So do your research.